Welcome to the Kumihimo YouTube channel. This video is a continuation of the series of videos I'm producing for counted designs for beaded Kumihimo. And by that I mean a design where you need to thread on the beads in a specific order to achieve a particular pattern. And the pattern I'm going to show you today is this one, which is a little sort of flower design. So if you look at it, you'll see there are 6 beads in a circle representing 6 petals of a flower. And then for this particular one, I've put a larger bead in the middle. So I've used size 8s for most of the braid, and then I've used round maggot hammers for the center of the flower. And when I turn it sideways, you see that's a really pretty effect. But it doesn't have to be like that. You can do this however you want to. You can do it much larger, completely with larger beads, do it all with smaller beads, whatever. Just remember that every choice you make will change the dimensions of the braid. So you'll need to work out what's going to work for you and the size you want and the beads that you're using. So this video is about technique, not really about a specific pattern for a bracelet or whatever. So with counted designs, I always have to start by explaining the one thing that goes wrong very easily for people when they first start. And that's about the starting position of your cords. So to make this braid, you need to start with your disc in this position. And you need to have, so this is the point your disc needs to be in when you start to load your beads on. And after you've loaded your beads on, you don't do any more moves without beads. So this little bit here that you do at the beginning of a braid to pop into your clasp, do that first, then get your disc into this position. And the position is with your cords in the north, south, east and west positions, and with the first cords to be moved with this top right and bottom left. And the way you identify if you're in the right position is you look closely at the point of braiding to see which cords will you moved last. And I can see when I look closely that these navy ones were moved last, which means that my top right and bottom left are the next to be moved. Or you can look at the shape of the cords on the disc. So these cords on top are slightly more of a V shape because they're closer in to the point of braiding, and that's repeated on the bottom. Whereas these cords here are wider apart, giving more of a U shape. And so that means that when you see that V shape, those are the very next cords to be moved. And I know it's going to be top right and bottom left. Or finally, if it is your habit to leave one cord down when you go top down, this is where you will be. And you just need to remember to return that cord to its slot before you put your beads on. Or if you're a bottom up first person, and they're exactly the same thing, your disc will be in this position. And again, you just need to remember to bring that cord down so your disc looks like this when you thread your beads on and when you start to add those beads in. So the way that I'm going to show you to do this is by following this chart. And what I've done is I have reduced the chart down to a simple 4-row repeat. So what you see here is a chart with the slots across the top, and starting with the slot here, so your top right, and on some discs your numbers will be either side of the slot, so it's the slot that's 32 and 1, the slot's in between those two numbers. On some discs you'll find that the number is underneath the slot, so it'll be number 1, so I've put that in bold. So this is the starting point. The chart goes across in a clockwise direction so that your last slot is this one back at the top between 31 and 32, or it might have 32 written underneath it. And then I have just indicated the colours of bead that you're going to use. So you've got A is your background colour, B are the petals, and C is the flower center. So let's just show that. So in this case, the pearl color is A, the blue is B, and the center of the flower, the red round maggot hammer, is C. And all you need to do is thread on your beads, just repeating these 4 rows as many times as you need to achieve the length you want. Now, the length you want will be up to you. As I said before, this is about technique, not about a specific pattern for a piece of jewellery. But to give you an idea, if you make this design in size 8 beads, you will find that a repeat is approximately 2 centimetres, and that's approximately 3/4 of an inch. But that will vary for everyone, so that's just a rough guide. So again, rough guide. If you wish to make a bracelet in a small size using size 8 beads, you will find you probably need 9 repeats. For a medium, you probably need 10 repeats, and for a large, you probably need 11 or more repeats. Now, you need to be aware that it can be quite difficult to identify which cord is which once you get going. So if you need to add on extra beads, it can be tricky. So I recommend 2 things. Either adding on a few more repeats than you think you might need, so you can use them if necessary, or marking the cords in some way. You can put a little bit of tape on them, just so that you know. So for instance, on this one, you might put a little bit of tape on the end and just mark number 1. So you know which slot this cord started off in. So that if you need to add more beads, you know exactly which row to carry on with. So that's just a little bit of a warning about adding on extra beads. So the way the chart works is very simple. You just need to add on your beads, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop a few beads here just onto my piece of paper. I would always advise using a mat, and I might well struggle here again to get these threaded because they can be a little bit slippery on a piece of paper like this, but doing it this way you can see exactly what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do is, all you do is you take your cords and you thread on your first repeat, and then as many as you need. So in this particular chart, the first 2 slots are quite straightforward. They're all the background bead, the A bead. So I'm going to choose a different one. I'm going to choose slot number 15, 16. So that is this slot here, 15 and 16. And that one, I need to thread on a pattern of A, B, B, A. And I'm going to have these beads as my A bead, these are my B, and that's my C. So for this slot, I go A, B, B, A. That's 1 repeat. And I just continue doing that as many times as I need to. A, B, B, A, and so forth. It can be helpful to have a piece of paper and a pen and just tick off each time you do a repeat, so that if you don't keep losing count and having to recount them. At the end, when you've loaded them all on, do double check, because accuracy is absolutely essential in this sort of braid. So the way to double check is just, you'll have a long row of beads here, and just check which cord you're on and just make sure you've got them right. A, B, B, A. Yes, A, B, B, A. Yep, I'm happy with that. And then, for example, I'm just going to take those off. And now I'm going to look at this one. This is the one place where we've got that C bead. So this is slot 23 and 24. So that's that one. And so this is A, C, A, A repeated. So it's A, C, A, A. And then I just repeat that all the way through. And so this way, using this chart, you'll find that you can play with different ideas. You can make a braid of any length that you want. You can make a braid with any sort of bead that you want, because you've got this technique. I'm going to remove that and bring my flowers back again. And really just to say thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you have fun with something like this and make something pretty. And if you do, and if you decide to post it on social media, please give this video a mention because that helps me, that helps other people to find new ways of doing things, and it keeps our community nice and strong. If you have trouble doing a screenshot for the chart, what you can do is you can just pop along to my website, kumihimo.com, which has loads of other information and tutorials and everything you can ever imagine. And you will find, if you search for counted designs, you'll find the charts, so you can just take them from there if you need to. But the quickest way is probably just to do a screenshot when you're watching this video. So thank you for watching, and I hope you will enjoy some of the other counted designs that I've done. If there's something you'd like to see, just let me know in the comments. Thank you very much, and goodbye.